While learners study at home, parents or other caregivers are the only adults who can support their learning. Establishing good communication with these people will strengthen the educational process. I will provide some advice to encourage and take advantage of their support so that parents or caregivers can properly accompany students through their learning process. In order to best support parents and caregivers, I suggest you start by identifying a communication channel with which you mutually feel comfortable. Email is best to start off. In the event they cannot access the internet, can you call them or send them an SMS message? Remember, that type of message has a character limit. Start by approaching them, introducing yourself, asking about them and their children, telling them the reason why you're communicating with them, and presenting a brief action plan. Take advantage of this first approach to determine the frequency with which you will contact them and their availability to answer. Clarify the importance of being aware of their children's progress. Make sure what you agree upon does not imply sending excessive messages. During these exchanges, use simple language without technical terms. Make sure your writing is correct and what you wish to communicate is clearly understandable. Ask yourself whether or not parents or caregivers will understand what you're saying. Verify that the person receiving your message is effectively passing it on to the child. Send parents and caregivers a basic list of the topics being covered in the lesson plan. Include home, family, and contextual topics in which parents and caregivers can interact with their children and create activities related to those topics. You can also provide additional materials such as a textbook or websites through which children can receive support to work on from their guardians without your support. Identifying the activities children prefer at home could help you encourage them further. Suggest podcasts, YouTube channels, and other sources of information they can access for more resources related to class topics. If they don't have access to the internet, you can recommend television or radio shows that are appropriate for children and send reminders for them to be aware of programming. Finally, always keep in mind that families can find themselves in various adverse situations, such as financial difficulties, limited access to communication, or emotional difficulties. One useful resource could be implementing activities in which children teach their guardians the academic content. Learning on both sides can be stimulating and fun through this process. Strengthening communication with the people in charge of children at home could also be valuable when they return to face-to-face classes. And remember, you also need support. I hope you find these tips helpful, and please register for the British Council's New Ways of Teaching newsletter. We have included some links that may interest you along with this video.